Okay, so not the prettiest video, sorry guys. I just had to make a video today because my Enneagram song came out today, and I have been listening to it over and over again, crying my eyes out because it's awesome. So I made an Enneagram video a while back. I'm not a professional, so don't ask me any questions, but I have read a lot about myself and a lot of the other types, especially the ones that are directly in my life, just to get to know my friends and loved ones deeper. And it really is so insightful and so helpful in relationships. If you don't know what it is, I will provide my 2 favorite links in the description box for the quick free test online, and then website where you can extensively read on it, but it's not like too much information to where it's overwhelming. It's like just the right amount to keep you very interested and not overwhelm you. So there's this guy called Asleep at Last, I think. Sleeping at Last is the musical group or the artist, or I really don't know much about it. I listened to these the first time ever like a month ago, and he has a song for every Enneagram type, and I have been waiting for the 8 one to come out for like, I don't know, 2-3 months. I'm sure other people have been waiting longer since they knew about it before I did. Thankfully, my wait wasn't that long, but it came out today and it has been so good. My initial response was, no, not really me, which now I'm laughing about that because that is so 8 of me to be like, nah, that's not really like me. No, not really. Denying all this vulnerable stuff instead of like, now I'm crying like a maniac because it's so good. So sorry if this is all going over your head. Read about the Enneagram and it'll all make sense. And once you know what you are, go check out your Enneagram song. The guy is so talented. He makes the music and the melody and the progression match your type, which is so cool to me. And so I'm gonna play it and like dissect it with you. It's gonna be annoying because I'm gonna be stopping it over and over. But if you want to hear the whole song through, I'll provide the link to his, in fact, there's a bunch of YouTube videos with the lyrics, which I find more helpful because you could read them in case you don't understand what he's saying. You can actually read it. So here it goes. First things, it starts off very abruptly and direct, which is 8. 8s are very just get to the point. And that's exactly how the song starts. There's no intro, it's just blah, which is so genius to me. So that's the first cool thing about the song, right off the bat, 8. So let's see what the first lyrics are. So this is gonna be tricky. I should have used my tripod. Oh, cool, I have a phone call from a strange number. And remember the minute was like a switch was flipped. Was just a kid who grew up strong enough to pick this armor up and suddenly fit. So I remember the minute it was like a flip was switched. I was just a kid who grew up, who put this armor on and suddenly it fit. I can relate to that. I did not have a difficult early childhood. I had a very loving early childhood, even growing up with just a single mom. I had my grandma, I had my grandpa, my cousins, my uncles and aunts. I felt very loved and happy as a young child. It wasn't until my grandmother died when I was 13 that things got pretty challenging for me, particularly because they got so challenging for my mom, and I suffered from that. So I was very much on my own for a few years and moved out at a very early age with uncles and cousins and uncle, aunt, and cousins, and stayed there for a few years, then moved out on my own, and I've been on my own ever since. So put the armor on and hey, it fit. That was so long ago. That was so long ago. I was little, I was weak, I was naive, I grew up too quick. So yes, I do feel like I grew up too quick. I had no choice. I was on my own, I had to work, I had to go to school, I had to figure it out on my own. It says, now you won't see all that I've had to lose, all I've lost in the fight to protect it. I'm not quite sure what I think of that just yet. I have to think through that more. I what comes to mind is a little complex, so it may not be worth me trying to explain it, but you won't see all that I've had to lose. It makes me think I haven't lost, because you won't see what I've had to lose because I didn't lose it. I made sure to keep it. I made sure to keep my good morals, my good character. I made sure that even though I came from a difficult background, I have a healthy marriage and I'm raising my children and we have a family and we have breakfast and dinner together and, you know, all these things that are, you know, so healthy, almost like combating the unhealthy that I lived through, you know? And so that's how I take it. Like, you won't see all that I've had to lose because I didn't lose it, and all that I've lost in the fight to protect it. I have fought to protect what I didn't want to lose, and in that process, what did I lose? Innocence, childhood, the freedom to live, you know, la la la, kid, being a kid, you know? Maybe that doesn't make me emotional thinking through that lyric, but that's what I get from that lyric.
All I've lost in the fight to protect it, I won't let you in. I swore never again. I can't afford, no, I refuse to be rejected.
I can't let you in. No, never again. I can't afford. I can't afford, or I refuse to be rejected. I don't. That does not resonate with me. And I think because the hurt and the damage and the pain that was caused is forgiven and totally restored by Christ. If it wasn't, then that would probably be my mom. But she is a sister in Christ and the Lord has renewed our lives. And so I can't relate to that. But I can see how I would very easily if I didn't know the Lord. I want to break these bones till they're better. Again, I don't really know what that means, but the way I take it is I'm going to do this right. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to survive. And I can relate to that if that's what it means. And then it says I want to break them right and feel alive. Not sure what that means.
I want to break them right and feel alive.
You were wrong, you were wrong. My healing needed more than time. My healing needed more than time. Yep, Christ. That's what my healing needed, and that is what healed me. When I see fragile things, helpless things, broken things, I see the familiar. I think that if my whole childhood had been really hard, that would resonate a little more with me. But like I said, the turn in my childhood happened when my grandma died and things just got really difficult at that point. But before that, I was so loved. I feel like that foundation was really well set. I don't see familiar things when I see brokenness and fragile things and all of that. I see a broken world that needs Jesus. I was little, I was weak, I was perfect. Now I'm a broken mirror. I can't let you see all that I have to lose, all I've lost in the fight to protect it. I can't let you in. I swore never again. I swore never again. I can't afford myself to be blindsided. I think that shows a lot of lack of trust for the person that hurts you. And I think if I was not walking with the Lord and forgiveness and trust in Him was not part of the Christian walk, then maybe I would be super hard and unwilling to let people in, but I can't relate to that but I'm sure people can. This is when it starts to get heavy for me, where I like start crying my eyes out from this point to like the rest of the song. I'm standing guard, I'm falling apart. This resonates with me, not in my every single day life, but when I am hurt. When I am hurt, all walls go up. If I've trusted you and you have hurt me, protection mode. I'm standing guard, but inside I'm falling apart. And all I want is to trust you. Show me how to lay my sword down. For long enough to let you through. That is, yeah, I want to be vulnerable. I want to be open. I want to be, you know, soft, but you're just not letting me. So I have to protect myself. Please show me how I can trust you. And I can relate to that even now. Like if I had someone that I loved and trusted my heart to, and they hurt me, I would do this. I would walls up. Maybe not the first time, but if it was obvious and evident that they're just not gonna take care of me, they don't love me, they're not gonna take care of my heart, then I will protect, guard, and that's it, because I can't afford to be blindsided. I so resonate with that. Here I am, prime me open. That's what I want. I don't want to stay closed. I don't want to. I want you to open me up and search my heart and show me that you're gonna love me, take care of my heart. And I love this line. What do you want to know? I'll tell you. Just ask. I'm just a kid who grew up scared enough to hold the door shut and bury my innocence. Had to grow up fast. Here's a map. Here's a shovel. Here's my Achilles heel. Here's my soft spot, and here's the way to it. I'm all in, palms out. I'm at your mercy now. And I'm ready to begin. Yes. This is so me. I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong enough to let you in. I'll shake the ground with all my might, and I will pull my whole heart up to the surface. Yes. For the innocent, for the vulnerable, I'll show up on the front lines with a purpose. Yes! And I'll give all I have. I'll give my blood. I'll give my sweat. An ocean of tears will spill for what is broken. I'm shattered porcelain, glued back together again. Invincible like I've never been. And it's over. You guys, that end is so powerful to me. It is like my heart like just laid out. Yes, I am all in, blood, sweat, tears. What a powerful thing to like hear so much of like who you know you are, but not everybody else necessarily does, written to powerful, brilliant music. That's what the Enneagram is. The music is just icing on it, but if you don't know what the Enneagram is, go check it out. So check out the links in the description box. Tell me what you are, tell me what you think of your song, and please subscribe and like this video, and have a good day. Okay, good grief. I heard it again and I'm crying again. It is every single time I start crying in the same spot. So here I am, pry me open. What do you want to know? I'll tell you whatever it is, just ask me, I'll tell you. I want you to know, I want you to ask. And from that moment on, the whole song, it just gets more and more tears, because it's so goodness. It just like expresses my deepest, truest emotions. Like, if I love you, like to the death, you know, like it's so powerful. So anyway, good job. Sleeping at last, good job. You got the right response from an 8, which was, nah, that's not me. Wait a minute. Really good. And there's a podcast, which I have not heard yet, but there's a podcast that shares the journey of all the songs being written. So I'm really excited to hear the journey of the 8 being written. And I doubt that Sleeping at Last will ever see this video, but if you do, I tried to contact you a while back, not too long ago, saying if you need to interview any healthy 8s, I would love to take a part in assisting you to write the lyrics to your 8 song whenever it comes out. But I didn't know when it was due out, and I didn't know how far along he was at that point. And I don't even know if he ever got that message, but I did send a message offering my services. So anyway, would love to hear you guys' thoughts on all of this, and share your Enneagram, your song, your thoughts on that, the podcast. And if you're an 8, there's so few of us out there. I would love to like hear about the 8s out there. Have an awesome day, guys.